Good morning, everybody. Ramblin' Pam here. We've been traveling through New Mexico this morning and decided to take a detour to the old ghost town of Steins. Originally, all these hills were lined with mines and old makeshift cabins, but Steins was never a mining town. It was always a Southern Pacific Railroad town. Just east off the Arizona-New Mexico border, off the 10 freeway, is the railroad ghost town of Steins. As we exited the freeway, the first thing we saw was the old graveyard. We drove through the tunnel that led us under the freeway to the other side where the town is located. The tracks are literally a stone's throw away from the town. Trains no longer stop here, but the tracks are still active. The town is all fenced off now with signage showing it's private property. We saw a few vehicles parked inside the fenced area, so I believe people do live there. We were hoping to get some drone shots, but their sign says no drones, and being law-abiding citizens, we were careful to abide by their wishes. It was in 1878 the Southern Pacific Railroad came in and began blasting through the rock to create a new railroad bed. Two years later, in 1880, the railroad was completed. The SP built a station stop in what would later become Steins. On December 9, 1897, news traveled throughout the camps when the Southern Pacific's Sunset Limited was held up at the Steins Pass by the Blackjack Ketchum gang. The engineer was killed. In the end, the gang escaped without a single dime. By 1905, the town grew to about 200 residents. Most of them worked in either the mines or the quarry area. The town had a mercantile store, a saloon, and a restaurant. In 1919, the town had grown to an estimated 1,000 residents. But they had a major problem because they were in the middle of the desert and there was no water source in the area. The town had to bring it in by train. By the end of World War II, the railroad gave the town notice that they were discontinuing their stop in Steins, which meant no more water deliveries. The SP offered the residents of Steins a free ride to relocate anywhere of their choice. Most of the residents took them up on their offer, many leaving all their belongings behind. In 1964, a fire destroyed a lot of the old abandoned buildings. But in 1976, there was hope once again for Steins when Warren Garrison's parents purchased the land. Garrison took on the task to restore the town of Steins. For 13 years, he worked on the property, giving daily tours to people traveling through the area. Then in 1988, he sold the property to Larry and Linda Link. They continued giving tours until they retired in 2008. From then until 2011, tours were by appointment only. In June 2011, tragedy struck. Larry Link was murdered on site. He was shot 5 times. An untraceable gun was left behind at the scene. Police speculated the murder could have been related to drug cartels, but the family maintains it was a local from the area. The case still remains unsolved. I read that a family member tried to start up the tours again in 2016, but from what we saw, it seems like the residents would rather be left alone. Today, a lot of the buildings are in such fragile condition, you can almost see the history of Steins being erased right before your eyes.